Welcome to the Missouri Department of Revenue's tutorial on sales and use tax refunds. Today, we will be going over how to file domestic and hotel utility refunds of sales and use tax. Domestic and hotel claims are special types of purchaser claims. Purchaser claims are filed when you are seeking a refund of money that you wrongfully paid to a vendor. In the case of domestic utility claims, domestic utilities tax is usually lower than the full rate taxed on utilities. In some jurisdictions, domestic utilities may not be taxed at all. Therefore, if your business has space that is used as non-commercial residential space, such as apartment complexes, assisted living centers, or retirement homes, those areas might qualify for the domestic rate. Hotel claims, meanwhile, calculate the amount of utilities that were used in rented rooms and allow the hotel to claim resale of these utilities. Since the customers who rented the rooms will have paid for the utility tax as part of the price of the room, the hotel can have that portion of their utility taxes refunded by the department. All forms can be located on our website, dor.mo.gov. On the home page, there is a tab for Forms and Manuals. Click here and you will be taken to a page where you can search for whatever forms you may need for your situation. These forms can be downloaded, printed, or filled out digitally. The first thing we will need is Form 472P, Purchaser's Claim, under Section 144.190.4, Subsection 2, for sales or use tax refund. This section refers to the Missouri statute which allows for you to apply for a refund of tax paid to a vendor through the Department of Revenue. The first page of the 472P contains frequently asked questions, as well as a list of the documentation needed for a purchaser claim. Let's go over everything you'll need for your domestic or hotel utility claim. The first thing you will need is your completed 472P form. We'll go over how to fill that out in a bit. You will need to include an exemption certificate to certify that you do not have to pay the tax. Domestic utility claims have their own special exemption form 4438, which is available in the Forms and Manuals section. Hotels will utilize Form 149, also available in the Forms and Manuals section. You will need to fill out the basic information for your business at the top. For the main body of the form, you must identify how much of your business location, on a square footage basis, qualifies for the domestic rate. To do that, you will take the total square footage of the domestic areas divided by the total square footage of your business location. Record the percentage of domestic usage on the form, along with the name and address of the location. The form must be signed by an owner, partner, or corporate officer of the company with their title included. You will need to fill in your business's information at the top, along with the information of your seller. For the body, you will select the box that matches the exemption being claimed. Hotels would claim purchases of taxable services for resale. The form must be signed by an owner, partner, or corporate officer of the company with their title included. For domestic and hotel utility claims, there are specific worksheets that must be completed and submitted along with the claim. These can also be found on our website, on the Sales Use Tax homepage. This page can be navigated to by hovering over the Taxation tab, the Business Tax option on the drop-down menu, and then clicking on Sales Use Tax. Here, you will find worksheets needed for both domestic and hotel utility claims. For a domestic claim, you must look at a few factors to determine which worksheet is appropriate. The first one is, how many meters are located on the property for which you are seeking a refund? The second, how many periods are included in the refund? If your refund claim includes more than 1 meter, you must make use of one of the multi-meter worksheets, either the up to 25 meter worksheet or the 150 meter worksheet, depending on how many you will need. If your property only has 1 meter, and your refund only encompasses 1 calendar year, you will select the annual worksheet. If your claim is for more than 1 year, you will select the standard domestic utility refund calculator. Though these worksheets differ, they each generally ask for the same information. For each meter, you must enter the tax usage, tax rate, and tax paid as originally billed, the non-domestic percentage from the property, this can be found by subtracting the percentage on your 4438 from 100, and the tax rate, which can be found by entering your address onto our rate map, available on the same webpage as the worksheets. For a hotel utility claim, click the link that says Hotel Utility Formulas. Here you will find the Hotel Utility Claim worksheet, which must be filled out with the taxable charges, full tax paid, rentable space, and occupancy percentages, and the tax rate for the location. On both sheets, the rest will populate automatically based upon what you have entered into these columns. When filling out your worksheets, make sure that your period dates are accurate and listed from oldest to newest. The period date would be the month in which the service dates on your invoice ended. For example, if your service dates ran from January 17th to February 25th, with an invoice date of March 3rd, the period date would be February, because February 25th is when that period of service was ended. This prevents confusion when working the claim, as well as potential delays that could arise from needing clarification. Invoices from the utility company must be included to support the amount of tax that you paid. In lieu of invoices, you may include a billing history with tax information, but it must be on the utility provider's letterhead. Invoices must be supplied for all periods in which you are claiming a refund. Failure to provide invoices could result in a portion of your refund claim being denied. A Form 5433 or Form 5440 must be provided with your claim. Form 5433 is filled out by the seller, in this case the utility company, and expressly authorizes the department to refund your claim. There must be an attempt to contact the seller first. If you are unable to obtain a completed 5433 from the seller, you may complete Form 5440, which states that you attempted but were unable to obtain this authorization from the seller. Forms 5433 and 5440 must be notarized to be valid. If not, the forms, and by extension the claim, will be rejected. Please also note that the form must be signed by an individual who is registered with the department as an officer or authorized representative of the business, or by an individual who has been given power of attorney by one such person. If you wish to give someone power of attorney for your claim, you must include a completed Form 2827. The Department of Revenue is bound by confidentiality laws, which prevent the disclosure of specific account information to non-authorized individuals. These laws are in place to protect your accounts and prevent bad actors from being able to gain information about your individual or business taxes. For a business, authorized individuals are determined at the time of registration in the Officers and Authorized Representatives section of Form 2643. Individuals can be added or removed thereafter with Form 126. If the department needs to reach out regarding your claim, only authorized individuals will be eligible to discuss the details of the claim unless they have already been designated as a power of attorney for the whole account, or if they are given power of attorney specifically for the claim. Take care when filling out the 2827. Powers of attorney may only be granted by authorized individuals on the account. If the form is not signed by an officer or authorized representative of the business, then the power of attorney is not valid. Take care to include your title with your signature. This tells how you are affiliated with the company and helps to verify your authorization. Finally, if your refund amount exceeds $100,000, the department requires that it be paid out by direct deposit. For this, you must include a copy of Form 5378, completed and signed by an authorized person on the business account, providing the account information and the permission for the department to deposit the refund by ACH. If your refund amount does not exceed $100,000, you may still request that the refund be direct deposited by including a completed Form 5378. If no form is included and the refund is below $100,000, it will be mailed as a paper check. Please keep in mind that the department may request any additional information needed to process your claim. Now let's go over how to fill out the 472P. At the top of the page, fill out the seller's 8-digit Missouri tax ID number and 9-digit federal employer identification number. This enables the department to ensure that the correct account is located. Next, check whether you would like for your overpayment to be refunded or if you wish to use it as a credit against a future tax liability to the department. Fill out the seller's information, including their business name, address, and phone number. Then, in the Purchaser section, fill out your own business information and indicate whether you are designating a power of attorney for this case. In this field, we will explain the reason for our refund request. This can be as simple as domestic utilities or hotel utilities. Now, break out the periods within your refund claim by amount. If there are more than 12 periods, attach a table with your breakout. Finally, we will sign and date the form. Make sure to indicate whether you are the taxpayer or the power of attorney, and that the person who signs the form is authorized, either as an officer or authorized representative of the business, or as a power of attorney by the Form 2827. Otherwise, the claim will not be valid and the department will not be able to process it. The recommended method of submission to the department is by email at salesrefund@dor.mo.gov. Refund claims can also be mailed to the department at P.O. Box 3350, Jefferson City, Missouri 65105 3350, or faxed to 573-751-9409. Please allow processing time for your refund. Claims are worked in the order in which they are received, and the department will contact you if any additional information is needed. Thank you for watching the Missouri Department of Revenue's tutorial on domestic and hotel utilities claims. Any questions can be directed to salesrefund@dor.mo.gov, or you can call 573-526-9938.